Good morning, Cullman. Thank you for joining us on Cullman Today. I'm your host, Christine Wiggins, and today is Thursday, May 14th. Coming up on Cullman Today, a Cullman County jury convicts an Arab man in a 2020 home invasion case, with prosecutors now seeking an enhanced sentence. Plus, local councils move on sewer work, street closures, and cleanup plans, including a major Scott Drive sewer project in Good Hope and new event approvals in Cullman. And the Cullman County Museum has a new director, bringing museum archive and preservation experience to the role. All of this plus sports, weather, and more. Now let's take a closer look at the top stories happening in Cullman today. A Cullman County jury has convicted Lelan Turney of Arab on charges of burglary and violating a domestic violence protection order. Cullman County District Attorney Champ Crocker announced the convictions Tuesday after a 4-day trial. The case stems from a 2020 home invasion and fire on County Road 222. Prosecutors say another defendant in the case has already been convicted of arson. The Tribune previously reported that the Cullman County Sheriff's Office listed the October 14, 2020 incident as burglary and arson. Turney, who was 54 at the time, was arrested on charges of second-degree arson, third-degree burglary, and violation of a domestic violence protection order. The convictions announced Tuesday were for burglary and violation of the protection order. Crocker said his office will seek an enhanced sentence under Alabama's habitual offender law, citing Turney's prior felony record. Turney will remain in custody until sentencing set for June 17th at 9 a.m. before Circuit Court Judge Chad Floyd. Several local councils handled infrastructure, events, and cleanup plans this week. In Good Hope, the City Council approved a bid for the Scott Drive sewer project Monday night. The work was awarded to C.D. Roberts Contracting for about $932,000 after the city received 12 bids. The project will add about 6,000 feet of sewer line along Scott Drive and connect residents now using septic tanks to the city sewer system. It also includes a new pump station. Construction is expected to begin in mid-June and take about 6 months. The project is funded through an ADEM grant. Good Hope also improved rezoning property at 193 Spiegel Road for a proposed duplex development and property at 191 Scott Drive for residential use. Meanwhile, the Cullman City Council approved several special event requests Monday, including the Christina Chambers Twilight 5K Run. The August 7th event will begin at 8 p.m. at Cotton Creek with road closures starting at 4 p.m. Organizers say proceeds will help Chambers Sun and Willow Path, a local nonprofit supporting survivors of domestic violence. Other approved events include St. Paul's Lutheran School Field Day, the library's Summer Reading Kickoff Block Party, Community Heroes Day, and Cullman County Relay for Life. And in Colony, the town council approved buying a hitch trimmer mower attachment, gravel for Bayers Road, and replacement vehicle. The town also set up a cleanup day for Saturday, June 13th from 8 a.m. to noon. Cullman Parks Recreation and Sports Tourism and the Cullman County Museum Board have named Molly Bloom as the new director of the Cullman County Museum. Bloom brings experience in museum curation, collections care, educational programming, and historic preservation. She most recently served as curator and educator for the James K. Polk Presidential Home and Museum, where she helped lead exhibit planning, collections management, educational programs, and community engagement. Before that, Bloom worked in collections care at the Summerley Museum of Scottish Industrial History and served as an archivist for the University of Glasgow in Scotland. Bloom holds a Master of Science in Material Culture and Artifact Studies from the University of Glasgow and a Bachelor of Science in History with a minor in Art History from Athens State University. CPRST officials say Bloom's background in preservation, education, and museum collections aligns with the future vision for the museum. Museum leaders say she will help preserve and share the stories, artifacts, and experiences that make Cullman County's history unique. And that's all for our top stories this morning. Coming up, West Point girls golf brings home a state title, while Hanceville softball rolls at regionals, and Meek's season comes to an end. Sports is next.
First of all, have compassion for other people. Treat people like you would like to be treated. Treat people nicely on your way up. You might meet them on the way down. So it's nice to be important, but it's also more important to be nice. So that was the first thing, compassion for other people. The second thing is be responsible for your own self-determination. You got to earn it. Don't look at somebody else. Don't blame somebody else. You be responsible for your own self-determination and have accountability for what your job is and what you need to do. And the last thing is, it's not about beating the other guy. It's not about being better than somebody else. It's about you being the best that you can be.
Welcome back. West Point High School's girls golf team is bringing home a state championship. The Lady Warriors won the Class 4A, 5A AHSAA state championship Tuesday at Silver Lakes in Calhoun County, finishing at 50 over par, 6 strokes ahead of the field. Brooklyn Sutter led West Point as low medalist, shooting 2 over. Hanceville softball made a statement Tuesday at the East Regionals in Albertville, while Meek saw its season come to an end. Meek fell to Appalachian 17-9 in the elimination bracket semifinals. The Lady Tigers battled at the plate, led by Carmen Daughtry, who went 3 for 4 with 3 RBIs, and Sadie Farley, who added 2 hits and 2 RBIs. Meek's season ends at 24-11. Hanceville opened regional play with a 10-0 run rule win over Weaver, powered by a combined no-hitter from KK Butler and Isabella Spinks. Butler struck out 8 in 3 innings, and Piper Butts delivered a 2 RBI bunt that turned into a Little League home run. The Lady Bulldogs followed that with a 16-2 win over Glencoe. Butler added an inside-the-park grand slam, finishing with 4 RBIs. Hanceville now advances to today's semifinal against Randolph County. And that wraps up sports for today. Coming up next, a new 5K in Cullman will raise money for Good Samaritan Health Clinic, plus the Cullman Tribune Pet of the Week. Welcome back. Now it's time to speed things up with a news rundown. 4 stories in under 4 minutes. Wallace State Community College celebrated more than 120 nursing graduates during its May 2026 pinning ceremony. The ceremony included the first graduating cohorts from Wallace State's joint enrollment option with Athens State University, as well as the college's evening nursing class. Department leaders congratulated the graduates and reminded them of the responsibility that comes with entering the nursing profession, from serving patients with compassion to advocating for people during some of their most vulnerable moments. Wallace State also presented its Nightingale Awards, which recognize excellence, compassion, and exemplary patient care. This year's recipients were Amanda Parker, Johnny Sue Mims, Dylan Carr, and Trey Batchelor. Another pinning ceremony is planned for the August 26 cohort, with about 135 students expected to participate. That ceremony is set for Thursday, August 6th at 5 p.m. at Traditions Bank Arena inside Tom Drake Coliseum. Wallace State also recently celebrated 30 graduates from its respiratory therapy class of 2026 during a pinning ceremony. The ceremony marked the students' transition from the classroom into professional respiratory care. Program leaders congratulated the graduates and recognized the work they completed to reach the milestone, including clinical training, classroom instruction, and preparation for board exams. Students were individually recognized and ceremonially pinned, symbolizing their readiness to enter a profession focused on helping patients during some of their most critical moments. The program also presented several student honors. Jarrett Peoples received the Respiratory Therapy Program Excellence Award. Jada Butler received the Academic Excellence Award, and Butler and Peoples were inducted into the Lambda Beta Honor Society. Ben Wade received the Clinical Excellence Award. The program is accepting applications for Fall 26 through June 1st. Good Samaritan Health Clinic will host the Run for Good 5K and Fun Run on Saturday, June 27th in Cullman. The race will begin at 7 a.m. on Veterans Drive Southwest at the future site of Good Samaritan Health Clinic. All proceeds from the event will benefit the clinic, which provides long-term health care and wellness support for uninsured members of the community. The event is presented by Flores Eye Care and was first envisioned by Cullman High School student Reed Flores, who has helped organize the race to support the clinic's mission. All participants will receive a t-shirt, swag bag, and race bib. The top overall male and female runners will receive Ray-Ban sunglasses, and the top 3 runners in each age division will receive medals. Registration is available online at runsignup.com. This week's Cullman Tribune Pet of the Week is Miss Joanne, an approximately 5-year-old terrier mix, low-energy girl with a gentle spirit and a grateful heart, and the kind of quiet presence that settles into a room without demanding anything from it. She especially enjoys being groomed, leaning into the care and attention as if she understands that kindness is something worth holding on to. The sparkles of gray around her eyes only add to her beauty, carrying the look of a dog with a story still waiting to be shared with someone special. Her adoption fee is $130, which includes vaccines, spay, microchip, wormer, general exam at the shelter, and general wellness. Visit the Cullman County Animal Shelter at 935 Convent Road Northeast. It's open Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. Contact the Cullman County Animal Shelter at 256-734-5448 or Cullman Animal Shelter at co.cullman.al.us. If Miss Joanne has already been adopted by the time you inquire, there are plenty of other wonderful friends at the shelter still waiting for their forever homes. And that's your 4 stories in under 4 minutes. Now for a quick break before we look at the weather ahead and pay our respects with obituaries. I'll be right back after this quick message. Let's take a moment to pause and remember those who lost their lives this week. Amy Marie Watson, 54 of Cullman, passed away Monday, May 11th. Visitation will be Monday, May 18th from 11 a.m. to noon at Cullman Heritage Funeral Home Cemetery, followed by funeral service. Burial will be at the cemetery. Ernie Lee Walker, 67 of Decatur, passed away Monday, May 11th. No services are scheduled at this time. Milford Wayne Ponder, 81, passed away Monday, May 11th. Graveside service will be today at 2 p.m. at Ebenezer Cemetery. Our thoughts and prayers go out to their friends and families. Now let's take a look at your weather forecast. Today looks sunny and comfortable with a high near 73. Tonight will be mostly clear and cool with a low around 45. Tomorrow brings more sunshine with a high near 79. Tomorrow night will be partly cloudy with temperatures dipping to around 56. And that wraps up today's edition of Cullman Today. Thank you for sharing your morning with us. And remember to stay connected by following us on social media and visiting CullmanTribune.com for the latest from our community. We'll be back bright and early tomorrow morning at 6:30 a.m. Until then, I'm Christine Wiggins with Cullman Today. Have a wonderful day, Cullman.